all right? No one's going to give you anything. You've got to earn it. If it is to be, it's up to me. Another one of our practice shirts says, quality, not quantity. Put your signature of excellence and perfection on everything you do. It's the quality of what you do, not how much you do. All right? Quality, not quantity. Now, and let me tell you what. When I was here at Francis Marion, now, hey, do I have a great job now? Oh, you better believe I do, okay? I mean, I'm at the University of North Carolina. I mean, I see Dean Smith about every other day. You know, somebody asked me out in the lobby coming through, do you know Tyler Hansbrough? I said, yeah, I see him almost every day. You know, so I do. I have a great job. But let me tell you this. Francis Marion is the reason why I am at North Carolina and I have what I have. But when I was here at Francis Marion, there were many days when I had a broom and I was pushing this broom up and down this floor here before practice because the floor needed to be cleaned. On holidays, I took the uniforms and the practice clothes home and I washed those uniforms at my house. I did that. When we traveled, I drove the bus. So I washed the uniforms, I swept the floor, I drove the bus, whatever was needed to be successful, all right? So remember those things, all right? Commitment to work hard. All right, the fifth thing is chemistry. You say, chemistry, okay? But chemistry, because let me tell you this. Chemistry is like the wind. You can't really see it, but you sure can see the results of it, right? We just had a couple little tornadoes touch down up around the Raleigh-Chapel Hill area. You know, you really couldn't see it when it came through, but boy, a few hours later, you could really see the results of it. You know, so, but I'm going to give you a real secret here, graduates. Let me tell you how to have chemistry. Now, you're going to go out and have a job. You may be getting married, you know, or, there's lots of things that you can be doing because all you'll be going in different directions. But I want to tell you how to have chemistry. It's real simple, but it works. Treat other people the way you want to be treated. Not like how they treat you, but how you would like to be treated, okay? So just remember that. Just because someone's not nice to you, hey, you kill them with kindness. You treat them the way you would want to be treated, and I promise you it will work. All right, the sixth thing is priorities. What are your priorities? Now, you know what? Today, too many people have too many things on their plate. They try to do too many things, and they can't do a good job at any of them. All right? So you need to sit down and organize yourself. Get your priorities in order. I tell my players this all the time. Sometimes if they're not focused and not getting things done the way they should be, I'll sit them down and I say, okay, it's time. Let's do a checkup from the neck up and get rid of any stinking thinking that we have in our heads because our priorities are out of order. And sometimes, you know, we get rid of those things, we get our priorities in order, and then our focus comes back, and then we do a better job at what we're trying to do. All right? So have your priorities in order. Number 7 is knowing and accepting your role. Knowing and accepting your role. A lot of you are going to go into jobs. You're not the boss. You're not the top man on the totem pole. You may be the bottom one on the totem pole. But know and accept your role there. All right? Now, because if you get too many chiefs and not enough Indians, then you got a problem. Okay? So know and accept your roles. All right? Number 8 is accept the challenge. You're getting ready to have challenges. Okay? You've been in school, you've been learning, but now you're going to have challenges out there. So accept the challenge. When we won the national championship, our last one, our practice shirt, on the back of it, it said, accept the challenge so you may feel the exhilaration of victory. You're not going to feel that exhilaration of victory if you don't accept the challenge. And listen to me, graduates. Don't let anyone tell you that you are not ready for a job, a project, or promotion. Don't let anyone tell you that, all right? Accept the challenges as you go out in the big world. All right, number 9 is you must believe that it's going to happen, all right? All these other things I've talked to you about, yes, they're great and they're important, but you know what? If you don't believe that it's going to happen, it's not going to happen. You know, if you want to be president of a company or if you want to do certain things, you must believe that you can do those things. Just think about that. And what are your goals? But you must believe that things are going to happen. That's so, so very important. Now, and I want to read this to you. This was a piece of paper right here. I brought it down today. I was holding this in my hand when we went out to play for the national championship. This is the last thing that I told my team. The very last thing out of the locker room. This is what I put in their heads before we went out on that court. And I don't know if it's been a while, I don't know if you know this, but let me tell you this. With 7/10 of a second on the clock, 7/10, I didn't say 7 seconds, I said 7/10 of a second, not even a full second, we were behind by 2 points. I had a player make a three-point shot with 7/10 of a second on the clock to win the national championship. Now, and I give a lot of credit to this right here because this was in my players' minds. All right, this was in their heads and in their minds. And it's right here. This is what I read to them. It says, believing. What is faith? Faith and believing is the same thing. It is the confident assurance that something we want is going to happen. It is the certainty that what we hope for is waiting for us, even though we cannot see it up ahead. You must believe that it's going to happen and that it's there. Even though you may not visually be able to see it, you must believe that it's going to happen. And this is a modern-day version of Hebrews 11:1. So believe things are going to happen. And then the last and the final thing that you must have, and this goes along with the formal academic speech that I gave Dr. Carter, is you must have a passion for what you're doing. All right? You must love what you're doing. You must have your heart in what you are doing. Now, I have right here a stopwatch and I have a measuring stick. Look at this. This cannot measure the passion in your heart. All right? This cannot measure the passion in your heart. So, as you leave here today, make sure that you have a passion for what you're doing. Life's too short not to love what you're doing. If you don't like what you're doing, then find something else. Everybody has a passion. So make sure that you have a passion for what you're doing. All right, now, I am going to ask Ryan and Mary Elizabeth, right? Waddell, come up here. They're going to help me. And I wanted to give you something that you would remember because I want this to be a graduation speech that you remember. So we're going to do a little demonstration here for you, and I do think it's something that you will remember.